Good afternoon, everyone. It's Friday, February 28th, and almost the end of February. Wow, time flies back fast. Welcome to today's webinar, Building a Solid Foundation, Insurance Essentials for Sole Proprietors. I'm Nisha Nehru, and I'm excited to guide you through this important topic. As we all know, insurance can be tedious, but it also is important for us to have because our business depends on it. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Nisha, and Nishanti, but everybody calls me Nisha, and you can call me Nisha as well because it's more convenient, and I probably won't answer to Nishanti because I don't really hear that often. But otherwise, I'll just let you know a little bit about myself. I am a experienced, knowledgeable individual in the legal field. Prior to becoming a lawyer, I did work for 8 years in the Ministry of Attorney General in court services, where I dealt with matters in family law, civil litigation, divisional court, as well as criminal matters. So I've dealt with a variety of issues, and I have also had years of customer service experience. In so doing, I'm able to understand customers' needs, clients' needs, and be able to determine what issues they need to resolve and how to go about doing that. So, in short, I like to help people, and I would love to have more clients who are understanding and able to communicate better with me. So, I try to give them the opportunity to provide me as much information as they need for me to assess their case and conduct the proper research in order to assist them in the best way possible. However, let's go to why insurance matters now, because as sole proprietors, these are essential things for us to have, especially depending on the business you're conducting. It may turn into a very big liability for you if a matter comes to the point where you have an incident or an accident, or let's just say anything that occurs, which we'll go through today. And as a sole proprietor, you are responsible for your entire business. You could be vulnerable to financial and legal risks. Without the right insurance coverage, this can be an issue. In this session, we'll explore the essential types of insurance you need to protect yourself and your business. So let's get started. The common risks faced by sole proprietors. As a sole proprietor, there is no legal separation between you and the business. Any legal claims, debts, or damages related to your business could affect your assets. A single lawsuit, accident, or unforeseen event could lead to financial constraints, and you may have to pay out of pocket for your legal lawsuits, which, if you had insurance in some instances, that can be alleviated. So, the essential insurance policies. Let's talk about these. There are several different types of policies that you could sign on to, but don't just go jumping into it. First, consider the factors. We'll talk about we'll talk about how you can protect your business effectively. You need to understand the different types of insurance policies first and what they actually offer and what they cover. The first part is the general liability insurance. It covers third-party claims of bodily injury, property damage, and related legal expenses. The second kind of insurance policy is a professional liability insurance policy. These cover errors and omissions, and they protect you from negligent claims or mistakes in your services, and these are usually covered for professionals. In this instance, you might have to have a regulatory body that you actually address your concerns to, as well as they may also impose a specific requirement for you to have professional liability insurance. So please check your regulatory body if you are in a specific profession like an accountant or a real estate agent or a lawyer, or there are various different bodies that cover specific type of professional liability insurances. And the next one is a business property insurance. Protects physical assets such as your office, equipment, and inventory, forms risks like fire, theft, or natural disasters. Another insurance possibility is business interruption insurance. Helps cover costs it helps cover loss income if your business operations are temporarily halted due to covered events. So there could be several types of insurances that you may require in your business. You may not only have to take on one type of insurance, but several different forms, including some individuals like lawyers require professional liability insurance. And then they sometimes also, if you have a property, like you rent out a space and you want to make sure that you're protected, you want a business property insurance. As well as if you have a job loss, you might need a insurance to cover the temporary job loss. So these are aspects that you might, when I say job loss, I mean, let's just say you are not able to continue working on a temporary basis. As a sole proprietor, you're the only one who's taking care of yourself. So you might need an income source to pay any debts, bills, and other liabilities that you've already incurred while you are practicing your business. As a sole proprietor, you don't have employer sponsored health benefits. So make sure that you do actually get those health benefit insurance, because it'll allow you to have like medication and any other resources that you need in case you have to go to the hospital or you need to get medication for any kind of illness and other situations, which happens to the best of us. We may think we're unstoppable and we're business owners and we can do everything, but then there are these moments, anything can happen. So make sure that you are protecting yourself. And here are some additional insurance coverages to consider. Disability insurance provides income replacement if an illness or injury prevents you from working. Since your business relies solely on you, this coverage is essential for maintaining financial stability during recovery. Even if you don't have employees, some places require employment insurance. So make sure I will, in a bit of time, I will, once I have discussed these insurance policies, I will bring about a case that I can actually speak to you about regarding this particular issue, which is really important because as employers, we also employ people and we need to know our basic information in order to make sure we safeguard our companies as well as our employees. If you use a vehicle for business, for deliveries, client visits, or transporting equipment, you need commercial auto insurance to protect against accidents, liability claims, and vehicle damage. In today's digital landscape, we have cyber attacks. So you have to make sure that your cyber liability insurance is on your computer or on your services that you need, because remember, you're not guaranteeing against cyber attacks. There is no protection if you do not have the insurance to help you cover it. And the insurance will usually do the forensic investigation, customer notifications, and reputation management after a breach. This is crucial form of protection if you handle customer data, payment information, or online transactions. So remember that these are essentials for an individual who owns their own business and is a sole proprietor, whichever form of business you conduct, you should always review these forms of different business, these forms of insurances to determine which is best for you. Now I'm going to go into a case for Barboa and Minister of Finance, Minister of National Revenue. In this case, the Minister of Revenue had indicated that the independent contractors were employed and are employees of the sole proprietor who was conducting a cleaning services, and they had about 10 employees or more. And in so doing, they subcontracted with several of these individuals to be able to allow them to continue the work, but they did not actually claim them as employees. This was a very complex case involving the Minister of Revenue, who had made a decision regarding a sole proprietor and the subcontractors they had employed. Several determinations were made regarding whether Barboa was providing agency services, which would imply a requirement to pay employment insurance. And in this context, it's not only agency services. You can employ several different individuals, and you may be required to have employment insurance. So remember this in this case, because there are important factors that this court case brings out to determine what the requirements are for us to have insurance for our employees as employment insurance. There are the several factors that the courts use to determine whether the individual working for an agency or a sole proprietor whether they are considered to be independent contractors or employees for the purpose of providing unemployment insurance. The court assessed factors of whether a unique service was being provided by the subcontractors. If there is no such unique services provided, then the services will be in line with the employer's or the sole proprietor's services. So in doing so, they are not providing any additional or independent services. This is a very important factor in understanding, because if a subcontractor is separate, they will be providing other services additional and apart from the services that they have subcontracted with your sole proprietorship. So that's important to understand. So let's go to the other factors that are important in considering what the court made the decision on. This case was fairly unique as the parties did not provide any identifying unique services apart from the cleaning services. They also had control and direction over what services they performed or refused. So that's a key factor which the court actually indicated as a relevant aspect of determining whether this individual was a subcontractor, whether they had control and direction over their services. In this aspect, self-employed individuals were able to make a determination whether they wanted to continue the services or whether they wanted to provide the services or refuse the services or change the services to benefit them. So this was a factor that the self-employed independent contractors had the ability to do. In so doing, they took away the control and directions from the sole proprietor. And this was one of the factors that the court determined was essential for whether considering the individuals as employees. The court also considered the parties' intended relationship at the time they entered into the contractual relationship. So those are important. These are other factors that the court will consider. What is the contractual relationship? When discussing a relationship with your employer or an individual, you need to know. So remember that insurance is not the only factors that we should consider. we should also consider our relationships. And if we are in a relationship where we are responsible for them, in an auto, like in this case, where uh, the Ontario Works Compensation Appeal Tribunal, in the decision in the next slide, we'll see that there is a organization that actually hired bus drivers who were independent, who had their own vehicle and had their own transportation ability, but they were under the strict schedule of the organization or the bus company that they were hired by. And they had specifically no control, no uniqueness, no ability to get out of that aspect. So in this instance, they were considered employees of the bus services. And the bus services were required to put automobile insurance for these individuals. So that's an important factor to consider when thinking about all of the insurance issues that we will encounter when you're dealing with your employees as well as your business. The second case, Van Hoosen et al. And Terusio Guarantee Insurance Company. I'm so sorry. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any of these names. I do try my best. However, unless someone tells you the name, you never know how to actually pronounce it. So I will apologize every time I say someone's name, because I do want to be accurate in whatever information I provide. But in this case, the appraiser who was required to have insurance was claiming his insurance under the company. However, the company did not actually say that they are providing the master policy for him as well as other individuals. My apologies. My dog actually really wants to come inside, so I need to open the door or else he's going to be scratching all day. He's very much an attention seeker, just like me, I guess. I'm just kidding. But either way, in this policy, in this case, the court determined that the motion needs to be heard and need to be determined. So we have not yet received a decision yet, but this is an aspect of why professional liability insurance is actually important. Because if the appraiser who was in this situation made a mistake, how does he go about defending himself? He needs to have proper liability insurance. And if the insurance does not cover him, why does it not cover him? And this is what this case is dealing with. And these are the important factors of having insurance in your business. There are several forms of insurance that you may encounter, and make sure that you actually talk to either a lawyer or an insurance agent to determine the appropriate insurance. Now, how to choose the right insurance policy. Choosing the right insurance policy depends on several factors. Evaluate industrial risks, understand the common risks in your field, and choose coverage accordingly. Check legal and contractual requirements. Some industries or client agreements may require specific coverage. Assess business size and revenue. As your income grows, you may need to exceed the protection. So make sure that you're able to actually get a policy that is amendable, so that you can change it according to the business that you're growing. Assess business size and revenue. Sorry, my apologies. I repeated that. Consult with an insurance professional. As I indicated, there are several insurance professionals. Sometimes you will have insurance professionals within your within your professional body that may be able to assist you. Each regulatory body may have their own specifically targeted insurance agents who will be able to assist you with that particular policy that is required for your benefit. So make sure you obtain the right insurance agent to help you out in those issues. Cost saving tips for sole proprietors. Insurance is an investment in your business future. To manage costs effectively, compare policies from different providers to find the best value. You can also bundle services. So ask your agents about bundling different type of services, making sure that you're able to adjust deductibles, review your coverage annually to ensure it aligns with business growth and changes. Finally, I would like to say closing remarks. To get started with your business insurance, assess your risk. Identify potential threats to your business. Research providers. Look for reputable insurance companies. Compare policies and quotes. Find a policy that balances coverage and costs. Maintain and update coverage. As your business grows, update your coverage accordingly. Insurance is not just about compliance. It's about safeguarding your hard work and financial future. Take the time to assess your needs and find the right coverage for your business. If you need further guidance, contact an insurance advisor for personalized assistance. Thank you for joining today's webinar, and I am really happy that I was able to go through all the insurance points with everybody. If you ever need any questions, if you ever have any questions and you need some clarification or you need someone to guide you in the right direction, you can always reach out and email me and request further information. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you again next week.